Okay, so for this lesson, we're going to talk about exit ticket number 16. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by reading the question out loud to myself. The question says, quarterback Brett Favre passed for 71, remember when I get to the comma in math, I say 1,838 yards between the years 1991 and 2011. His all-time high, now when we think all-time, we should think the greatest number was 4,413 passing yards in 1 year. In his second highest year, he threw 4,221 passing yards. So now I can read the first question, and I'll go back to what's above if I need to after. So the first question, so I'm talking about number one, where I just circled. So I'd like you to circle that on your homework as well. It says, about how many passing yards did he throw in the remaining years? Estimate by rounding each value to the nearest thousandth and then compute. So there's a couple key words in this question. The first word is about. When I think about, I should also think this other word that they use in this sentence, rounding. Estimate is another key word for us. And if I'm stuck, I could figure out what place value do I need to round to. So I'm going to go back and reread it one more time. It says, about how many passing yards did he throw in the remaining years? Estimate by rounding each value to the nearest thousandth, and then compute. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down all the information I already know. So I know my total. For his career. His total is 71,838. I know his first year, which is, in 1 year his highest, which was 4,413, and his second highest, which was 4,212. So what I'm going to need to do with those three numbers is I'm going to need to round them to the nearest thousand. So in each of them, I'm going to underline what's in my thousands place, and then I need to look at my hundreds. So this number, I didn't do anything to my 7 to 10 thousandths place, so I leave it. I have a 1 in the thousandths place. I look over at the 8 in the hundredths place. I know 5 or higher, I round up. 1 rounds to 2, and I know the rest becomes zeros. In my second part, I have a 4 in my thousandths place. I look over, I have a 4 in my hundredths place. 5 or higher, I round up. 4 or lower, I stay the same. So 4 stays at 4, and the rest becomes zeros. In my next one, same idea. I have a 4, I look over at the 2. 4 or lower, I round, I stay the same. The 4 stays at 4, and the rest becomes zeros. Now, it says I need to compute. I need to find how much he threw in the remaining years. So I know my total, the total yards he threw in his whole career. I know 2 years. If I add those 2 years, I'm going to get 8,000. Now, you may ask, why am I subtracting and not adding? If I added, he would have more total yards. That can't be possible. The greatest number he can have is this number right here, 72,000. So I added 4,000, 4,000. I got 8,000. Now I'm going to subtract. This will get me the remaining years. So 0 take away 0, 0 take away 0, 0 take away 0. I put my comma in. Now I get to my thousandths place. I have a 2. 2 take away 8. We could also think about this like money. If I have $2 and you ask me for 8, I can't give that to you. So I have to go over here. I have to regroup. 2 becomes 12. 12 take away 8 is 4. 6 take away, there's nothing here. You can put a 0 if you want, or you don't have to. 6 take away 0 is 6. So by rounding, about how many passing yards he threw in the remaining years? He threw about 64. Again, when I get to the comma, I say 1,000. Please circle your final answer so someone will know.